5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Beyond the Summer presentation of the Star Matter I-League Chinese Division 13. Here we have the playoff lower bracket match between FTD Club B and CW. Let's see that leading the best of 3, 1-0. So right now they are looking strong to charge right on through that lower bracket and take on the winner of Wings versus Emo. But of course, FTD Club B still has some tricks up their sleeves. So we're already on the draft. I'm gonna hop right into it. Thanks once again for tuning in. I'm myself and Blaze, and I'm joined by Hades. How's it going?
It's all good, dude. It's awesome. I mean, you saw game 1 FB thrown back by surprise by CDCU. Bad right, a surprise pick. So I guess they're gonna learn the lesson and probably not trying to ban out, not concentrate all these bans on the mid heroes, and hopefully maybe ban something like safely carries to supports instead. I mean, back in game 1, we saw a lot of priority bans like Dazzle went to Wyvern. May see a different case this game as FTD Club, they ban out the Darkseer and Shadow Fiend. CDC Youth, they will ban out the Alchemist and the Doom. So, alright, at least we're not gonna be in for those tier 1 farming heroes. Might see something with more action this game.
Definitely, and it's very interesting the diversity between the bans in game 1 versus game 2. This pool is wide open, as I think the key thing here. In the first game, it was very highly prioritized by the CDC Youth to grab up the supports that they could when they were on the dire side of the first pick. But in this case, they realized with only the 2 bans that no first pick, there's no way they could stop FTD Club B from getting all the support heroes that they want. They're always going to get one really good support. So they go ahead and just ban out, of course, the top tier Alchemist Doom that you're often stuck going up against, and it really the heroes themselves aren't that insanely powerful. It's the fact that it changes your playstyle and it forces you to play differently that makes it difficult to go against those 2 in particular. So that along with the Darkseer Shadow bans all make a lot of sense. Looks like an FTD Club B don't want to have to worry about a team fight coming against CDU. They've already got the Tusk Dazzle, making it hard to finish shots on the single target, and obviously having the ability to initiate at longer range. But I feel like if they were up against heroes like Power on top of that, then yeah, it would be very difficult to keep the Tombstone alive for one, and just overall fight the spells that call down. So smart ban there. But where do you think they're going to be going with the rest of the draft here? I mean, Undying Slardar. Obviously, you're going to be seeing one of those heroes in the offlane. Most of the Slardar will the Undying does a bit of a dual lane action, either bottom or in mid. But what do they want out of the rest of their draft now?
heroes who can actually synergize with Undying is Slaughter, so probably like single focus, not so much in the AoE. I'm not surprised if they go for the Queen of Pain,
Dire
and
team
that's
back.
still in the pool. Earthshaker as well. I
Radiant
mean, in
team back.
CDC, they're pretty good, great synergy, roaming synergy with Tusker and Dazzle pick, and yeah, I was gonna say Phantom Lancer.
Dire
All
team
these
pick.
three heroes work very, very well with each other. The heal bomb is going to do a lot of damage, so that's probably going to be your Charlie in the bottom lane. Unless, of course, is off lane in Tuskar. TD Club B. Let's see. Bane is still out there. I mean, it synergizes as well as Slaughter.
Yeah, I think that actually would be a really strong thing. You're getting some disable as well, getting good control, and just in general having a response that can allow you to start putting more pressure out of the lane. So it'd be pretty strong, I
5 seconds
good
remaining.
against the Tusk. Overall, just a strong pickup here, but not great in AoE capacity. Maybe you want, like, I don't know, if you can go or shake around against your sports, but that would be a pretty nice pickup. Overall, though, I think that CDC just they've already taken 3 great picks. I mean, Tusk, Dazzle, Phantom Lancer. You've got 2 ways to synergize the Shadow Wave, either through Snowball or through Doppelganger. Like you said, FTD Club B probably want to prioritize single target damage output, but Dazzle with Shadow Wave gradients for that as well. So overall, with the fact that heals so elusive, Dazzle keeps heroes alive.
Radiant
It
team
just
pick.
feels like you have a lot going for them already, but they do go with the Queen of Pain, as you mentioned. So now we've got a pretty clear idea of how those lanes are going to be playing out. I mean, there is a possibility that you just go for some of the most off-the-wall configurations. I've seen Queen of Pain Undying work really well as an off-lane duo. And then the Slaughter could be run as a safe lane fleet dagger farmer. But more likely, you're just going to be seeing that
10 seconds remaining.
as we've seen multiple times over
5 seconds remaining.
brand on a Slaughter.
So right now, I guess for a bit of control,
Reserve time.
I mean, CDC, you've got a great try in middle lane. I'm not too sure just yet. Heroes which might come out. I'm still banking on the Invoker. I'm still wanting to come out. Could try something like a Bristleback mid as well. That can actually be a bit of use. But FTD Club B, now they're lacking like that range support. Sort of help out a bit with a nuke. So that could be either Lion, Skyra, CDC, you've been such a
Dire
beat.
team pick.
So BKB is not really an option because it's not going to help much, but it's always great. So CDC, you can actually take advantage of that extra vision could be provided by the Hawk. It's always great, the Necro books, so that's a bit of a push right there. 4th pick from FTD Club B. I mean, what do you think it's going to be in place?
I mean, Night Stalker's going to be the answer, so I'm not going to really answer that one, but we are going to be seeing the Night Stalker come into play here. It's still possible they can run the Slaughter safe lane and try to up their tempo, so I'm not going to count out the idea of Night Stalker out lane, but like I said, James looks like it's out here. they run
10
it
seconds
for when
remaining.
they can. So, while it was a first ban by CDQ in game 1, it
5 seconds
is actually
remaining.
making it to the 4th pick here. And, you know, we can do okay. He's obviously going to
Reserve
be able to
time.
deal with the boards that the D specialist is spamming out, so good at daytime. It's going to be difficult for the next soccer to get involved in the lane, but at least he doesn't really care about their harassment because of his natural HP regen. So overall, you've got a lot of tanky heroes, a lot of good tower divers. Scenic Youth, I feel like all they have to do is just pick up a hero that can kind of hold under tower for their mid. If they can just get somebody that can hold position against any tower dive and survive as long as possible,
Dire team back.
then you're going to be in a pretty good spot. I mean, they've already got a great draft across the board, so anything that will just avoid feeding, and I mean, like, I think if you're everything is like a warlock, when you put Shadow Ward on yourself as a warlock, you're just one so durable. And I mean, any hero that follows that big thought, just surviving instead of going for big plays, will be great. But they still go for something like a Templar assassin, and while she has her moments of flimsiness, overall still a great fit.
There we go. I mean, CDC, if they foresee that the Queen of Pain is more of just safe lane Queen of Pain, so that's why they banned out the Viper. So FTD Club B to respond by taking out the Bane, which is another support which probably would be very good for setup, but I think it's a wasted ban because CDC for just lacking for like the mid lane and you pause 2 right now.
There are some teams that run mid-tusk, but it's much more common.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
Reserve time.
So, Lina still out there.
I mean, the Viper ban indicates yeah. I mean, there's really no way of. I think they just want to make sure. I think they just want to tap their time. Think about it as long as possible, but yeah, it seems like it flows with their draft pretty well. It's decent surviving as a Night Stalker, and yeah, I feel like there's no reason not to pick it, but
Poker.
little do I know, they can go with the in-play. They're looking to put on a show here.
Kind of feels that if they did pick the TA, it would be running into a trap because FTD Club B, I'm pretty sure they want to pick it up, and there we go. Okay, so
Interesting here. TA and Undying played in mid against the Booker and press him through decay. Can he really actually get a well-timed minus? Or I feel like there's a lot of weakness in this Invoker pick. He's going to have a really weak early game. He's going to have Dazzle behind him a lot this game. Cold Snap Snowball is great. So Demons can collaborate with Blue Flame as they have done in days past, and find kill opportunities and build momentum. Great. But if the FTD just gets involved with Doggy Night Stalker or James on the end and just starts walloping him, silencing him, or just reducing his health pool to really inconsequential levels, then I feel like that's the perfect year for them to dive. I mean, obviously, he might be able to Deafening Blast or Tornado or something to pull them off the tower, but as it stands right now, you can't go for the classic Alacrity Exort Wax opener from the Invoker. He has to play very defensive.
If anything, I feel that a Cross Wax would actually be really good this game. Not so much of the Cross Exort, really rough. I mean, just say, Cross Wax would be really good just because these heroes, deprive them of the mana and the PL. That's where he will excel, and he synergizes pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, he's really vulnerable till he gets a couple more levels, and maybe to level 5 until he gets a Ghost Walk or something. Otherwise, he should be fine. If any hero should be babysitting him, it might be the Tuskar, so they can think of turning around these fights. Dazzle should be the one at the bottom lane with the PL, because that's where they have most kill potential between these two heroes alone.
Yeah. I do think that Wex should probably be limiting his potential to be killed off most significantly, but I have to argue that Exort might be preferable just for the synergy between him and the Beastmaster. Roar Sunstrike, and one of the classic spell combos since
The battle begins.
very early in Dota 2 and even for a while in Dota 1. It's very old, but it's probably the most common combo of spells that you used to see between heroes like this, especially the fact that they both get through BKB now is really strong in terms of just making sure that whoever Beastmaster targets has a very set day, and you pretty much find yourself a kill every 80 seconds.
That's true, and it's really a lot of nuke as long as they get the run the right targets. But I'm kind of concerned with who they have to take down the Tombstone. Yeah, but it's gonna be Demons babysitting the Invoker mid. James, the 150k, so he wants to really pressure Inflame, but Inflame shouldn't have much trouble this lane.
I like James' movement though with that decay. Like, you're kind of walking up though, get an auto attack onto Inflame. Normally you wouldn't go for that kind of move, but all it wants to do is bait the Tusk closer to Inflame and force them to essentially always get the double decay. Look at this one dying! He has 1,000 max HP now with 5 stacks of decay, and he can just go right on whoever he wants. They really can't fight him at this point. He doesn't have any good items, but walks right up and scares them off, really suppressing things early on here.
Yeah, but this is only temporary. I think it should last maybe at most another minute more, and James will want to be doing something else. The advantage is already here for the TA. Won't be long before he starts stacking Ancients or something. Bottom lane, I mean, Rand actually almost died. He's already been forced to pop the Salve because IC has been so good at zoning him out, because he does trading as many hits as they can, and that's before he even hits level 2. By the time both these heroes hit level 2, they actually can kill Rand if they want with the Doppelganger heal bomb. IC doesn't have the mana.
So it's just going to be a little bit of pressure, but the Mango and the Tango will be doing enough for Slaughter to stay afloat here in the lane. Interesting to note that actually Invoker's Quads aspect, when he goes ahead and just puts 3 Quad Storms up, is actually really strong against Decay. I usually talk about Witch Doctor being a good response because Voodoo Restoration, while you're decayed up, it's a really effective heal, very cost efficient in terms of mana for health you're going to get. But the Quad's regen doesn't cost any mana, and you're continuously
top lane Dude. This might be first blood. There's a hate tune on James, so James is gonna just run him down, and Zombie Man gets first blood. Actually, no, it's going the way of the Queen of Pain. So very timed and very unfortunate for June.
Yeah, just not something that you can really prepare for. Just move around with doors. That's just no response there. And actually, they're gonna go in haste turn expiring, but still just right back to the mid lane to start doing the exact same thing. Team Boker Inflame. They don't want him to get much in terms of CS right now. He's only 7-4 against the TA's 11. And STA approaches 5, 6, and 7. She's going to be that much stronger against the Arsenal Vegas.
Well, this is really big at the bottom lane. I mean, the Tusk used his shards to block out Ran. All his consumables have been out. So right now he's at level 2. He has to walk all the way back to base and back to the lane. It's just a long time when he doesn't get any XP. So this is where June can sort of overtake him lane.
Yeah, potentially, but I mean, right now June is doing so poorly himself. He did get one Radiant pull off here to get the Hellbears involved. The Katagi actually missed the last hit, and June does claim one. So not only is a melee creep going 0% experience to Dire, but he does get the last hit through the axes on that Hellbear Smasher and gets, of course, 1/3 of the experience. So all in all, both offlaners having a hard time, but Beastmaster currently pulling ahead ever so slightly.
Now that Undying James has finally left the lane, so the Invoker can sort of catch up. The state lanes are doing very, very well. Ame is 22 and 11, actually the same amount of last hits as the Queen of Pain. Then neck and neck. Who's gonna win the race here? I don't want to be the Slaughter because yeah, they can actually get a kill to Dazzles here, but pity's not. like I mentioned, James back to stacking Ancients.
Invisibility.
And Input can't really contest the top for him. The TA with Refraction as well as a movement speed advantage. Well, she would if she had boots, but still just able to kind of control that position. So we played going for this Trior build, and now maxing Boss, or at least getting the second point in it. This is for survivability purposes, all just to withstand the Undying. He wants to some more CS in the lane, and while usually attack damage is the best way to do that, in this case is actually the HP regen that helps him the most. Ran down bottom, one more lance will put him into near fatal range, but they just can't close on him effectively enough, so nice movement through the trees keeps them healthy, and they'll get a lot of experience here under tower if Demons doesn't pay off.
Dire's structures
And meanwhile, Dazzle, he used the Invis when he did. He actually blocked off the Ancients. Backstalker suspected that, and actually he tries to find the ward, but he's not going to find it at all. Lane, they almost killed the Slaughter, bringing him to half HP. Night Stalker's looking for the counter kill, or at least just for a bit of defensive movement here, but he's not going to find it. And actually, just a bit more insight into the Invoker pick.
Oh, this should be a kill here. Yeah, heal bomb, snowball will finish it. Augie can't do anything for him.
Oh, that was just really, really good. Heal bomb does so much damage to the doppelganger.
They set up nicely, and yeah, Slaughter again having some trouble. The tower taking a lot of damage for this whole process, and yeah, as you mentioned, the Sentry Ward's not going to be favoring them as they do lose out the ability to set their agents for the
So that's actually two heroes on Dire's side who have no last hits at all. Slaughter has not had a single last hit or deny the 5 minutes in. Maybe he gets his first last hit? Oh, the hope is real.
it! Yeah.
Oh, he gets it. There we go.
Down it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, root control is going to be really important here, but Taki really not doing as much as you might want for the most recent nights. He's halfway done with it. Just takes a value rune, no DD or haste. So, yeah, his skill potential is pretty lacking, and you're going to see him probably just sit on that one assist for like some time. I mean, Demons is a little bit caught out, but he's quick enough that Void would not be setting up a Sprint Crush, and that means that he's going to be fine. It's going to be Tito Young that just keep the kill score 1-1.
Traps Itaki.
Oh, they got the cold snap coming in too. This should be a kill. As fast as the Hunter that may run, it is just not effective enough. When the rebound rotation comes through, it's going to be Dazzle taking the last hit, as he actually got Alacrity, so a bit of a nice damage boost there.
So crosswax Invoker it looks like, and actually, I mean, like I said earlier on before the bottom fight, a bit of insight into why you would pick the Invoker. One of the good things is, because of the class, he's not heavily reliant on a bottle, so this is why they kind of foresaw that with the Undying pick, and you know, with whatever mid hero was coming their way, they knew that aggression was going to come, and it's very unlikely that they get to contest the runes, which in this case you can see, yeah, Flame hasn't even bothered to even try to leave lane, so it's a really good pick.
Yeah, and of course you're going to be able to kind of disrupt opportunities in terms of initiation. You try to blink in with a Slaughter and you just get knocked up by Tornado EMP, and all these strength heroes have a really low mana pool, so EMP is going to hurt their potential in the fights. I mean, I would actually compare EMP if it connects to like a Silencer ulti. Like, all these heroes just run out of mana and therefore can't cast a single damn spell. And they're not the ones that are prone to going arcanes. We see the Undying maybe go for the arcane boots, but generally speaking, he's the only one that would traditionally acquire.
Dire's bottom tower.
And now Pia gets himself a nice tower hit. Queen of Pain is still doing very well at the top lane though, making her way towards that Orchid. June can't really do anything about contesting the farm, but he is getting closer to level 6, so that's a bright side.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Does,
James
nice.
Nicely done with the cold snap.
So, good pickup there. Not really the most consequential one, just a level 3 Undying, but at the same time, that'll put Invoker really in the driver's seat here. It might even go for like an Orchid build-up. That's the most common build-up you used to see for Wex Invoker. More often now, I've been seeing Genomitis. But in this case, he's going to go for a tank build first, going for kind of combat-oriented items, and the Orchid would work along those lines. I mean, hitting quick silence on the Queen of Pain or the Slaughter could be just a huge boom in terms of the team fight potential.
Has the urn picked up, and now they're going to smoke, probably hit to the top lane and kill this Queen of Pain. And with the urn, with the cold snap, it really goes well together. So in Flame, he's actually overtaken TA in terms of net worth.
Yeah, it's a good tool for doing things like burning refraction, triggering the cold snap, and of course just allowing them to keep fighting kill after kill.
James,
So
yeah.
James, yeah, absolutely. Johnson Kingston, that's going to be an end with being just more free gold. Very easy for them to clean up, and it's going to be in flame to get the last hit there. So, oh, he didn't have the urn at the time though. That's unfortunate. I thought he had it, but still, going to be able to push heavily on this tower and really suppress FTD, where they thought they would be kind of gaining momentum this stage of the game. Instead, during this daytime in particular, CDEC are starting to run them over, and this is Invoker coming online a lot more rapidly than you would normally expect.
One of the good things about playing Cross Wax Invoker, you don't Cross Wax, you don't see a Cross X or Invoker that often nowadays. Even against like Meeples and stuff, when you think, oh okay, I need that extra damage. No, it's usually the Cross Wax Invoker nowadays, which is being picked up in this meta. And I don't foresee that the Queen of Pain will be roaming that much unless FTD starts to roam by the second night time around 12 minutes. So for now, they are not going to do anything. They're just going to play safe, just keep farming them.
Oh, gonna be a bait down bottom. I see is gonna be baiting in the cold snap and now looking around with the poison touch and a lot of right clicks tornado. And a few more hits, all that required for Ren to go down. That's going to be the first goal, immediately given over to Icy. Fueling his Urn of Shadows and using the Dazzle very effectively there as bait.
Very efficient kill. And one of the pains of playing against Inflame.
Yeah, he was actually really so preemptive about that too. Like the CP came out about 6 seconds before the Slaughter started looking for that opportunity. So Inflame was already there and ready. And yeah, the Wax Invoker utility always going to be coming into play here. And he's just the perfect counter initiator.
I am a bit skeptical about this extra point in the exile. I'm thinking back to the laning. Maybe he just did the extra damage with harassment.
Oh yeah, he's been alacrity a ton.
Oh no. The melt, the amplified damage, the Ghost Walk isn't going to help him, but he's going to use it for the extra movement speed. So yeah, he will just run away. Even if the sprint is not enough to catch him, and they will just give up.
Yeah, he not only invokes the Ghost Walk, but immediately throws on 3 Wex Balls, and then obviously Ghost Walk, all of it enhancing his movement speed to disengage there. So good on him, and now he looks to be going into, I mean, he could go for a Scythe to really complement the full disable, but that seems ambitious. He might just be going for something like a Yule's, which is still great in the fights. I mean, the second Tornado, just on a single target, and really messing with the well.
Great for catching people too, because FTD, we don't exactly have the best lineup for retreating, besides just laying down a tombstone to sprint. That's pretty much it. So now I think they want to pressure the mid T1, secure a bit more map control. They can actually do Roshan quite easily, if there's an Necrobook coming up on June, which should be up in a while. He just has the belt of strength, but that's it. Oh, that's a smoke on Hitagi. They want to find a kill. They want to fight here.
Yeah, but how did they actually get the fight to work? But they're already keep going in with this snowball. The roar coming in out on the Queen of Pain. A lot of damage. Nice sword coming at the Queen of Pain. The James goes down, and the EMP comes out. Ahmed's going to be limping away here. Throttle and Challenging. Going to be plenty to keep him alive. And now I feel like it's going to be Inflame that needs to be focused down. As Ahmed keeps on getting healed, Inflame is the one that gets melt struck. He will be going down. And Queen of Pain trying to get away from the Beast Bastard with the axes. And one more right click will kill her off. Now June has 3 traps to run through to try to get home, and that'd be too long a road for him. That'll be actually a 4 for 7 kill score, as we do see
go for more.
Oh really?
Yeah,
wow, jumping in on Icy, that is out there. That's still to follow up with, and of course the Grave still a cooldown, but it might be too deep. That's a snowball. Walrus Punch comes out, Red will go down. Still finished off the down for Abe. Trying to get it onto James, Flesh Golem or not. Oh wow! Oh my gosh, that Melt Strike with the Flesh Golem is absolutely insane. Just decimates the Tusk, and now putting some good hits into Abe. 5 back coming up with the Dazzle. Looking for that TP Shallow Grave to really just turn this around completely, because Abe seems to be having some trouble. They drop the Sentry Ward as needed, finish the job there, and the TA Bounty, the Invoker. Oh, see if he's up one of them back. He'll get the full gold out of that, but even still, FTD really showing what they're able to accomplish when the fight starts
Dire's
building
middle
momentum.
tower is under attack.
And CDEC, it's worth mentioning that
Radiant's
June,
top
before he
tower
died,
is
he
under
actually didn't
attack.
lose anything because he got 1,000 gold
Radiant
after killing the Queen of
structures
Pain.
are
So he
fortified.
actually got the staff of wizardry just before he died. He was just kiting them enough with the bow, and it was a good buyback from IC as well because even though he died, he has such low net worth that the buyback timer penalty didn't really affect him. So he actually got the full gold and still gained from that fight. And after the kill in TA, earned back just enough. Now he has probably more ward money.
Yeah, and I mean, to argue maybe they didn't need his buyback to secure the kill in the TA, but the Sentry Ward being there just as a convenience to get the D Ward in the part of the jungle as well as find her in the melt, that's huge. So yeah, it doesn't cost them hardly anything, and they get so much turning that back around on the tail end. But even still, it was overall, I would say, a victory for FTD. The fact that they were able to take that fight is pretty much the first bit of forward momentum they started
Dire's
this game.
structures are fortified.
And no. Yeah, I think CDEC youth, they're not too concerned about that
Radiant's
fight. They
middle
actually
tower is
got
under
back a lot
attack.
more, and now they're gonna get
Dire's
themselves a
top
nice
tower
T1
has
at the top
fallen.
lane. So, over here, Demons stuck in a world of hurt sandwich between all these heroes, and Queen of Pain's gonna get the last hit. They're gonna look for a bit more, and doesn't Blink Dagger, and he gets the Amplified IC, and offensive turn
Radiant's
charge
bottom
wasted
tower
from
is
the
under
Hitagi.
attack.
On the Bird's gonna get a shot down from TA.
It just goes for the farm, so passive time for now. They took the tier 1 up top, the last hit going to the Invoker, and he built himself up the Yules completely. So this is going to be a no Midas build from the Invoker, no way, he goes back for it now. And yeah, we're just going to be seeing him use his spell zero effect. Probably not hitting level 25 this game. It could possibly stretch that long, but it seems like a Jet Wave and Snowball, but all these spells are not really good against buff. Any other hero there, yeah, you got some kill potential. Here, Queen of Pain floats away. Now top by the tomato. While the Tusk actually gets hit by the Night Stalker. True Strike will make sure Queen of Pain gets knocked up, but Demon's actually the one under the most fire right now. One more Void could bring him low, but instead of playing just trying to disengage, gets crushed, gets handed under the Tombstone Zombies, but the Snowball just... Oh no, going deeper and deeper into the Sonic Wave. Self-heal is not going to be enough here as they get crushed again. Demons going down as well. That was not the snowball they were looking for. That is going to be FTD evening up the kill score here at 16 minutes.
There was definitely some miscommunication. I think Invoker, he actually almost got away. He managed to invoke walk, but he clicked on a zombie, so he just killed himself.
Unfortunate. I mean, there's gotta be some spell wandering around that might have killed him off. Anyway, he was so damn low, but no matter. Yeah, he just panics out in that situation, and that gives so much momentum to FTD. What small victory they claimed from the fight a couple minutes back now turns into a dramatic one as they take a tower, as they take a massive kill flux, and now they're just using it to buy out a bunch of wards. The Sweater will pick up a Blink Dagger soon enough, Desert on TA, Queen of Pain has her Orchid, and the supports otherwise are just buying as many wards as possible to try to get into back map control from a position where they were kind of blind.
And alright, Rand's getting closer to his Blink, he's 200 gold away from it. And actually that fight, I mean CDEC Youth, they have every right to be afraid because they lost that fight, even though it seemed like they had that initiation advantage, but that was with the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave. She had no mana for the Sonic Wave, otherwise FTD would definitely have fought there.
But she'll get that cooling down now. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good one that she dropped onto the Tusk Invoker in the end, just to make sure it went down quickly. But in the end, right now, CDEC just have to kind of recoup. They have to start farming up hard on his PL, make sure that he gets relevant. And right now, Drums, BOT's PL, he's good at killing Tombstone, but otherwise he's not contributing all that much. So I think Ame wants to get one more item. Blade of Alacrity, I assume it means the Diffuse Burst. So Diffusal Manta, obviously the progression that's going to put him really in an offensive position. But right now, FTV, I feel like they have a lot of tools to start getting control over the mid game. I mean, you got the Roshan, which should go really cleanly to the Templars. Now, she actually already tried to do it a little bit. I looked at it earlier, it had like a third of its health missing, but in the end, with the Blink Dagger, as well as, of course, all their negative armor, they should have a lot of them.
Middle lane, they want to go in flame.
Oh, they get a hatred on TA as well as a flank rush. They will be reported, and Ice Shard is out though, so it's going to survive for an amazing amount of time. If he gets that TA, this will be her last refraction to play around with. And the Ghost Squad and the Shower Grave gets the Invoker out. Nobody's down yet, but Rand is very low. Maybe looking to go back in. Oh, okay. Quick combo of strikes going up against Husk. Now on the backside of Pain, cleans up the Beastmaster move and headed for the hills. So with that, they will take 2 hills, they will take Roshan, and they will take the offensive.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, that's why, you know, the pain of the Queen of Pain, the Sonic Wave, it had such a huge impact hitting into 4 targets that fight, and they just have no way to cope with the Tombstone while dealing with the rest of the aggression coming out from the TA with Deso and the Sonic Wave.
Do you know what Blackstone was going to play when the Sonic Wave came out? That would be huge too.
No it wasn't, he just laid the Tombstone down. He had it after the Sonic Wave was thrown out.
Gotcha. But that's such a great synergy. A lot of people don't think that pure damage can be like mitigated or enhanced, but no. Flesh Golem will enhance all damage received by a target. So if he's right up there with the ultimate, and then the Sonic Wave gets dropped down, that's half the enemy's health easily. It's insane how much you can really just rack up there. And it feels like they just invested too much in getting him flame out of there. He self-fuels, he goes Ghost Walk by Shallow Grave, and they do everything they can to bail him out, and they have nothing left for anybody else left to be kind of on the dire side. So very quickly it seemed like they were on the defense of that fight, and obviously the Sonic Wave was the key turning point.
And I'm actually doing the math right now, like if you have the Flesh Golem up, like you mentioned, plus the Sonic Wave, you actually bring the entire CDEC youth to below half HP.
Yeah, it's really strong. And of course she's going to put her back in Interceptor. I could go BKB, but I think like you talked about in the draft, BKB is kind of weak this game. So I would prefer to see the Agonist, and if you get that with the Flesh Golem and the Undying too close to the fight, then boom, you've got a nearly guaranteed fight until the mechanism comes out. But Talking dead outright. Red, what are they crush coming in? Can they actually start to turn this here? Great decay as well. There's going to be the Flesh Golem wandering. The Sonic Wave can come up too, and Icy drops extremely low, but the Phantom Lancer keeps scrambling off the cooldown. He can't finish off the Dazzle, and June TP's away in the trees. They actually can't clean this one up.
Hey, they still can do this, James. He's bottled up by the Necro unit and the Boar. He's gonna Glimmer Cape away, and they're looking for him. They can't find him. Oh wait, they're just gonna back off. Oh, in fact, he's still
they fully disengaged there, and Flame really just couldn't find anybody away from the team fight. They lost so much early on. They were again another fight where they're pretty much in full retreat as soon as that Sonic Wave hits. 2,100 damage from the wall there, and that crush was just so huge. Oh, Dusty, blinking, crushing in Flame. What a combo there! And I'm wondering, oh, the Ghost Squad debuff. He must have walked just too close to one of his opponents, and they do catch him out. Very nicely done from FTD.
So currently, let's take a look at the code graph. It's the 5,000 advantage for FTDB. EXP wise, also a bit of a 5,000 for FTDB. With the Tombstone, it's really just doing so much in the fights that CDEC, they have no answer for it. James getting low.
Yeah, they do get him. So this is now no way that FTD can fight this, but they want to fight with the Aegis. They're going to see some Swingman Crush from the Heal Bomb. It's going to be the Aegis pop already. June is going to be dropping very low here, just out of the fight. One Axis is all he's got left, but it still might be enough. They do drop the Sentry Ward onto the belt, and yeah, MBTA going down. So good defense of the bottom tower, as well as kind of punishing FTD. We're going to fight without a Sonic Wave. That's just not going to work out for you.
1,200 gold swing heading in favor of CDEC Youth. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a BKB, not Aghanim Scepter for the Queen of Pain, which is sad.
I mean, it's good against the PL. The PL Diffusal, obviously burning mana and the Axis slowing her down, makes it hard for her to move into fights, and she's probably going to be a high priority target if she doesn't have a BKB. But because Invoker didn't go for Orchid, and as we mentioned, a lot of moments go right through that BKB, I'm not completely sold on this purchase. It's not bad because the PL is such a threat, but at the same time, it seems unnecessary.
Alright, so for now, yeah, this PL is getting really out of control. He's hitting towards the Manta style now, and I really don't see how FTDB can cope against this PL. He gets more and more farmed up, because after the Manta, he's probably going to hit into like a Heart or an Eye of Scotty.
Yeah, Manta Scotty seems pretty appropriate here. I don't think you want Butterfly in a game where there's so much fill-based damage. At least not until your 6th slot. We're actually going to see he could have made his link right into Tusk and accidentally find himself a 3v kill. But they might try to turn around here, cold snap and the damage. But no, the Invoke is a level 1 Invoke, so he has actually no way to respond to that situation by changing his arsenal. That's actually very unfortunate. They couldn't hang with a cold snap. The PL would have definitely kept her locked in place. But instead, she gets the free kill out of complete blind luck. And from there, Cedic's aggression up top is halted.
Oh well, and yeah, probably should have gone on the Queen of Pain. Very unfortunate, like you mentioned. I mean, at the same time, they probably were afraid of all the TPs since they were so near the T2 to the top lane.
Well, no, it's more so the fact that he only has level 1 Invoke. It's 22-second cooldown, and all he had available was Alacrity EMP. You can't do anything there with a PL and Alacrity EMP. You can purge, and then she'll just blink out. It's not. There was no kill potential there because of the spell's Invoke. But we're actually going to see a Snow. Nice little crush, and Flame. Oh, Snowball to save him, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He's still in a really difficult spot with Tornado. Then the Roar, that should be enough to get the Flame. But Queen of Pain is still here in the fight. Going to be able to focus down along with the TA, killing off the beast. Killing off the Sigil. And the Sonic Wave on the flank is going to be bringing Demon down to 100 HP and finished off for good. So Inflame once again is out of the fight, but he's got amp damage on him still for a little bit longer. They try to finish it. It's going to be actually Icy as they focus down. As Ame Icy trying to make a play on Ram and completely fail in that regard. James under like 4,000 Sentry Wards going to be just barely limping away from these illusions, but walking away with only 1 death.
Considering how things went, I think that was probably one of the best case scenarios you could have gotten for CDEC Youth. They were quite lucky not to have lost the Invoker. He was kiting around Queen of Pain. He was trying so hard to get the double Sonic Wave up, but he only killed off June, and I suppose he was just content with that. I mean, I think CDC Youth, they lack the damage because they're so close yet so far from killing off like the Queen of Pain and dying every single fight.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean the Tusk and the Beastmaster bring control, the Dowser brings durability, but because it's a Wex Invoker and PO hasn't really hit his peak, they just, like you said, don't have the damage. I see Rand get the Blink Crush on it playing here. The Snow Fuels would not be enough, so there'll be another kill from Queen of Pain, 8, 4, and 5. And she is living up to her name. This is insane. And now we're going to see him go for the Ace Cross, BKB, Orchid. That's base breaking material right there.
Well,
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, it's notable. Should be noted. Oh wait, Shemeen with TA might get wrecked here. I think he will get wrecked. No mana at all. Beastmaster gets himself a nice freebie. 530 gold. Closer to the Necro Books. Oh wait, he has the Necro. He should be a Blink Dagger next. Yeah, and then, like I was saying, I mean, PL almost has the Manta style.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, he's going to be really tough to deal with. FTD, they should be noticing this, they should be worried, because every time in the fights, they can't kill the PL at all. They can kill everyone else except the PL. They're always usually very low. So with a bit more, I think he can actually win the fights the next time around.
Yeah, big Roche timer coming up. Well, if this is a short spawn, FTDB can take the Aegis and start looking at all the tier 2s, and then maybe 1 tier 3 tower before that Aegis expires. But if it's a long timer, then Dolly's and CDEC, oh, it's a very short timer. That is a pretty much minimum spot, just about, and the TA trap will see it instantly. But yeah, Beastmaster will at least scout it out. But nevertheless, I feel like the fact that BL won't be able to farm his next item before they're dealing with Aegis-oriented team fight, it just makes it much harder for CDEC Young to bring this one back.
Things is just tough. Oh wait, it looks like they're just gonna do Roche. At the same time, I mean, I think CDC, this is probably the fight they want to take. They get a good weave and they just need to be able to kite on an illusion rune for Army. This is gonna be a very good rune.
Yeah, the illusions will certainly help, but FTD just wait it out. They might just say, okay, well, if you're here, you're not farming, and we can just kind of control the pit. They keep on screaming, or killing off the birds. Oh, but Bird might find her out. He's going to try to TP with the tornado, and the BKB will not be enough with the roar. Man, that was a pretty big mistake from the Queen of Pain. And could C-Deck actually look to snipe this, or is there still too much in that? But the Tombstone on the high ground and the Blink Crush.
Radiant's
Can
top
definitely
tower
take
is
this.
under
Without the
attack.
Sonic Wave, this is their rush. TDB, they may be forced to have a Queen of Pain buyback just to contest this Roshan.
Yeah,
they're
we're
gonna
going
use
to
Dire's
tier 2
bottom
TP.
tower is under attack.
And they're happy if this. They're just gonna back
Radiant's
out.
top tower is under
No,
attack.
we'll try. Yeah, if the Storm blinks in, I think they'll get that's going to be both sides kind of just breaking away from the river. Yeah, there's out a small army here, but in the end they're more producing than anything else. I think the fight should be over. If C-Deck continue to try to force this
Radiant's top
position,
tower
then
is under
they're going to
attack.
be very, very sad very quickly. That being
I think
said,
illusions.
Rush is half HP. Queen of Pain's buyback is unfortunate, but her BKB will be coming up in 20 seconds. So it looks like they still want to force this here and now, even though C-Deck Young are in position to get that.
Tons of mana issues everywhere. I mean, you can see the illusions really causing so much annoyance to the Night Stalker, and I think the demons, yeah, they just want to get a good
Oh,
wait,
still going to get picked off. The Shallow Grave will help him out. 3 mag run as Slaughter will do his duty, and that's going to be a great Sonic Wave going across as well. Invoker, the target of the Queen of Pain. He gets roared, and now Queen of Pain should be going down while CA tries to clean things up. Can't get the range, but no problem. James will kill off the Tusk, but in the meantime, Ame taking down 2 here, or just taking out the Night Stalker is plenty. They ain't get to the Tombstone just yet. In fact, Ame has now put himself on the cliff for seconds, but those 2 heroes down, the dieback of the Queen of Pain. That turns out to be a real shot for C-Deck. I feel like the Queen of Pain, considering she had just fought back, was far too far forward, no matter the BKB.
They really needed to win that fight, but they were just kited all around, and the last thing you want to fight against is a PL, especially in prolonged fights. I mean, this is exactly what CDEC's draft is, prolonging these fights, and without zombies, without Tombstone, there's no way FTDB can this place. So just really well played from CDEC to kite the fights in, from the high ground advantage. Now even this TA, you can see, she had decent farm, but now she's falling behind.
Yeah,
Dire's middle tower is
going to
under
be
attack.
trumped the network by 2K, and it just looks to be getting a little bit worse as the moments go by. Of course, Ame now has an Aegis, so a lot more confidence for him. But I really just feel like a big aspect of that is the Queen of Pain going for that second blink forward. Obviously, the first blink, just going on the Tusk, no problem, but blinking up to the high ground here just to try to finish off the Tusk puts them in such a compromised position. They're able to absolutely punish that, isolate him, and bring him down. And they just didn't get enough out of their opener. The fact that they Grave, of course, negated the initial burst on the Tusk and they had to chase him, so B just made things really bad for FTD as they got sprung out. Now tier 2 goes down in mid, and Ame pursues bottom as well. This is so much gold, as well as soon to be at heart. The way to see it go.
I have to point out as well that the gold graph has swung 7,500, so it's now in favor of CDEC. That's a very
Dire's
huge
bottom
drop.
tower has fallen.
And at this point, I don't think they'll look to break high ground. They're happy with just not only evening up the net worth graph, but pulling slightly ahead and getting control over the map again. That's probably the higher priority here. Just maybe to the point that they even pop Necronomicon just to de-ward or to get vision. But right now, though, we've got the Invoker picking up a very late Orchid. We've got June, Link back going into Vlad's. And just overall, items just raining down for C-Deck.
Yeah, it's not that they don't want to pick the high ground, they can't as well, just because of, it's so hard. Like I mentioned just now, I mean, without the Tombstone, they can't fight, but the high ground defense with the Tombstone and the Sonic Wave, plus the Flash Golem. And I mean, if Rand gets another, 3-man crush, just no way to do it. So right now, I feel the FTD need to make use of whatever resources, whatever precious time they can. So they're gonna go for a 4-man smoke and probably try to look for, a straggler in the back.
Yeah, but it's not going to be anybody really vulnerable here. They've got all 5 up on top, ready to push onto this tier 2 tower, and that's pretty much already dead. They do have Glyph, but you don't want a Glyph your last tier 2 when they could go for the tier 3. Instead they'll go, jump on and flank, one man crush is not gonna cut it, and now he's being hurt, he's slow, and that is the flank of the attack line, but I didn't see the great drop in time. So now the roar coming out on the Temple Assassin, she can't do anything despite her BKB, and Ame's just gonna absolutely destroy her in just a moment's time when her BKB expires. Despite the crush from the Slaughter, she goes down, and now they bounce back to Slaughter for another kill. It's a great fight from C-Deck. The fact is, it was a really hard contest from FTD. They don't get the crushes they need to start that fight off. And then the Sonic Wave isn't that great either. Oh, now Hitagi caught out by the Orchid, the Urn, the Cold Snap right clicks, and down he goes to 3 for 2. And they'll walk right up the high ground with all force, or at least critical force, alive.
This is just really hard for FTD. I mean, their peak moment is long gone. Now that the PL is so farmed, there's just no way to kill the PL right now.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And now the lower duration of BKBs are also really hurting. Like, obviously the TA only lost. Well, she didn't have the 10 seconds. That's not really the case for her. But for the Queen of Pain, she's been using BKB every fight, and now she doesn't really have much to work with. The TA mostly was just the roar and other things kind of delaying its impact. But all in all, C-Deck, they seem to have the ability to sustain and, like you said, drag out the fights. And to the point that they're aiming to essentially they strike their first kill every fight before FTD do, and that's kind of the opposite of the intention between heroes like Templar, Assassin, Creative Band. They want to instigate somebody, they want to take them out of the equation very early on in the engagement, but so far this hasn't been really unfortunate. These Braves have been game winning. So we're going to see Crush. Ame still has that Aegis, so just goes ahead, Mantis, and says come at me.
PL is just crazy right now. I mean, just his illusions alone is pushing back James and the Night Stalker. So they can't really get close to like go for Tombstone or whatever. Now this is going to be probably another lane of frags unless FTDB, you know, they have to fight, they have to defend. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they have to defend.
Flanking hard, the Aegis is pop, they really want this crush. They're going to get it onto 2 heroes, Pain, BKB, blinking in, Mercy gets forward, and this is going to pull up for 3 seconds. Forward to keep her up just long enough to blink away. But then Taki down left for dead. And again they get that first kill. Dazzle them without a grip, without a prayer, he'll be crushed down, they use a great sonic wave. The Tornado's not really gonna be just changing the situation. I love his positioning on the front line. The fact that he wards off the Templar Assassin says, don't even think about approaching the back line, don't even touch my supports, and as a result, they don't really get that much out of it. They drop their ultimates, they go in at the perfect time when the Aegis is gone, but Ame's so tanky it doesn't seem to matter. They go ahead, right onto the racks, they've already taken top lane, and they're about to take mid as the illusions start to take control.
James needs to just go back and heal right now. I'm not sure why he's standing
great market from mid lane too. The preemptive Orchid as soon as he sees the Slaughter moving in.
Yeah, I'm not sure about you Blades, but I think this is GG. See how you come back from this at this point.
Dire's middle barracks.
Yeah, they'll back it up as long as they don't beat all 5 here. It looks like that's the opposite of the case. But go on and that's the death of the Slaughter. Hitagi as well, caught out once again. Really, I mean, it's a 1-8 and 11 Night Stalker, just not much for him to do, and he seems to die pretty easy. It's gonna be GG, call back to DB, and as you said, it is just too hard to go at this point. It's gonna be all 3 lanes of racks, and it is gonna be the elimination of FTDB from the Starladder Island Chinese lower bracket playoff bracket.
Alright, so I mean that was just really good. Like I pointed out, FTDB, the optimum timing for all the heroes just wall off. And since they weren't really taking objectives, they weren't controlling the map enough, which is what you're supposed to do for Night Stalker. It just really backfired on them so strongly. And CDECU actually what looked like a bad item at first on the PL. They got the BOTs, he made so much use out of the space. So it didn't really matter that, you know, FTDB, they were still being able to kill the Invoker. So that's when I pointed out early on that when they realized they couldn't kill the PL even around the mid game, things just really weren't going well for them at all, despite, you know, it seemed like they had advantage. So that's it. I think we're done for this best of 3. We have one more to do for today, Blaze.
Absolutely. So we are going to be looking at the upper bracket match between Wings and eHome, but because we have gone through 2-2-0s consecutively, we are once again ahead of schedule. So we got another 45 minutes to break before we can see those teams in action. And of course, it's going to be really, really interesting to see what eHome brings to it. They were able to 2-0 Fan Chuan, and Wings were able to 2-0 IG. So both teams really showing that they have some prowess, and either one could take it. But I would say that eHome are a bit favored that matchup. Wings are fun. They're really good in the late game from what I've seen, but it's still friggin' eHome they're going up against. One of the strongest teams going out of the Frankfurt Majors. So should be still a hell of a match. And yeah, we're going to be seeing that in 45 minutes time, another best of 3 to round out the night here for Starletter I-League China. Yeah, there's only that's the next match, and then one more day, and we're going to be seeing the conclusion of everything here. And in fact, the fact that these guys are in the upper bracket semifinal actually means that this is deciding who will be going to the LAN and who will be fighting it out through the lower bracket, because we actually are getting 3 qualifier slots out of the Chinese division. So the 2 teams that make it to what would otherwise be the winner bracket final of Starletter I-League are automatically